Have you ever had a thought pop into your head that's so disturbing or so weird that it almost scares you? It made you think, what's wrong with me? Why did I even think that? Well, if you have, you can be pretty sure that you've had an intrusive thought. And let me tell you something. Intrusive thoughts happen to everyone. The problem isn't the thought itself. It's what you think the thought means about you. And that's where people get really stuck. Today, we're going to bust 5 common myths about intrusive thoughts that are probably making things worse for you if you have them, and show you what to do instead. I'm Suzette Bray. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I help people step off the emotional roller coaster and develop the superpower of emotional regulation. If you're ready to take control of your mental health with practical, actionable tools, you are in the right place. Myth number one: intrusive thoughts mean something about you. All right. The first myth is that intrusive thoughts mean something about you, that they reflect your true desires or your character. But here's the truth: intrusive thoughts are random and meaningless. Say you get a weird thought like, I noticed my coworker's butt during the meeting. Does that mean I'm secretly into him? Or maybe you're driving and you have a thought like, what if I suddenly just swerved into traffic? Or what if I whipped my pants off right here in the middle of Target? Or was that speed bump a person? An important thing to remember about intrusive thoughts is that they are just brain glitches. They don't mean anything about what you truly want or who you really are. In fact, intrusive thoughts often target what's most meaningful to you. If you care deeply about your family, you might have intrusive thoughts about harming them, not because you want to, but because your brain knows that would be the most disturbing idea. That's how random and meaningless intrusive thoughts are. Myth two: you shouldn't have intrusive thoughts. This myth is a big one. The myth that you shouldn't have intrusive thoughts at all. But here's the deal: pretty much everyone has them, even therapists, even that super Zen yoga instructor, the pastor, the professor, everyone. We all have random thoughts that make no sense. And why is that? Because your brain generates thousands of thoughts a day. Think of it like a mental spam folder, and most of it's junk. The problem isn't having the thought, it's believing that you're not supposed to have it. Intrusive thoughts are just mental noise, not the sign of some deep, dark secret about you. Myth three: you need to get rid of intrusive thoughts. This myth says you need to get rid of intrusive thoughts to feel better. But here's the catch: trying to get rid of them actually makes them stronger. Think about it like this: imagine you're trying to go to sleep and you start saying to yourself, don't think about tomorrow's presentation. Don't think about tomorrow's presentation. And what happens? You think about it even more. It's the same with intrusive thoughts. The more you try to push them away, the more they push back. They kind of sit on your shoulder and just go, I'm here, pay attention to me. Instead, you want to accept the thought's presence. Imagine it's like those ads that show up on the side of the screen of your computer. You don't have to click on the ad or engage with it. You just notice it, let it be. It's there, so what? The more you accept the presence of an intrusive thought, the less power it has. Myth number four: if you have this thought, you might act on it. I know this myth can feel really scary, the belief that if you have a thought, you'll act on it. If you've ever thought, what if I lose control? Or what if I do something terrible because of this thought? You have probably felt that fear. But let me reassure you, having a thought is not the same as acting on it. The fact that an intrusive thought feels so disturbing is a sign that it's pretty much the opposite of your true intentions. We all have strange, irrational, bizarre thoughts, but most of us never act on them because they're just mental noise. Your brain is throwing random things at you. You get to decide which ones matter and which ones don't. You are in control of your actions, even if you aren't always in control of your thoughts. Myth 5: there's something wrong with you. Now, finally, myth 5 is the belief that having intrusive thoughts means there's something wrong with you. You might think, why do I have these awful thoughts? What's wrong with me? But here's the reality: intrusive thoughts are part of the human experience. They're just there, they happen. So you're not broken, and there's nothing wrong with you. The best thing you can do is remind yourself that you are not your thoughts, and you don't have to believe everything you think. Thoughts are just mental events, they don't define who you are. All right, let's put this into practice. Think of a recent intrusive thought you've had, one that made you feel uncomfortable, gave you the ick, made you scared. Now, instead of trying to push it away, I want you to practice labeling it. Say, this is just an intrusive thought, not me. Visualize the thought as a cloud in the sky and watch it float by without engaging. The point is to create distance. When you stop fighting the thought, it loses its power over you. Okay, so let's quickly recap these 5 myths about intrusive thoughts. 1: intrusive thoughts do not mean anything about you. 2: everyone has them. 3: you don't need to get rid of intrusive thoughts. In fact, acceptance works better. 4: having an intrusive thought does not mean you will act on it. 5: there's nothing wrong with you. So the next time an intrusive thought pops up, remember, you don't need to react. You don't need to engage with it. You don't need to panic. Just let the thought be and move on. I would love to hear from you. What's one technique you plan to use the next time an intrusive thought pops up? Drop that in the comments below and let's talk about it. If this video helped, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need these tips too. Thanks for watching. Bye.